Thank you. You know, one of the things that we talk about at this time of the year is that it's very difficult to win in March. Doesn't matter what the matchup is, doesn't matter what the records are. It's just very, very difficult to win in March. And, you know, we pride ourselves in being able to handle pretty much anything that comes along. You know, you get to experience everything over the course of a season, you know, those 5 months or whatever. You know, and then today when Aaliyah went down, it was just one more thing that was thrown at us. And I you know, the way we responded that second half and how our players performed, I thought was tremendous. I think we showed a lot of maturity during that stretch and a lot of toughness and a lot of character because you're out there playing and you know you're not coming out. That's a tough way to, you know, to play basketball and know that I'm not going to get a breather no matter what. So I was really, really, really happy with these guys. I wish we had a couple days between games, but unfortunately we got to get ready for tomorrow.
Questions for the student athletes in the front, Roger.
Paige, can you just talk about that, how you guys responded and what the feelings were? You just looked very focused after that happened, and not only how the whole team responded, but Ice in particular.
Yeah, once Aaliyah went down, we kind of called a huddle, and we were talking about just how locked in we have to be, how extra focused we're going to have to be, stepping in for Aaliyah, who does so much for us, and particularly rebounding. Aaliyah does a great job on the board, so we knew that was a hole that we needed to fill. But yeah, Ice, I thought she came in and gave great minutes. Just her resilience and her ability to step up to the plate when we needed her, when her number was called. And she was really fearless in that. And I thought she rebounded well. She defended well. She did great things on offense, rebounding, screening, knocking in shots. So just the way she responded was honestly was really perfect. But just, again, like everybody just was major focused and major locked in. And we knew we had to step it up for Aaliyah.
Second row on the right.
Also for Paige, what was it like to see KK really step up in her first postseason game?
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, she took over the games, took over the game at some parts and just completely dominated, whether it be offensively, defensively, the pressure that she put on the ball, getting in passing lanes, getting tips, steals, rebounds. So she affected the game in every aspect, and she completely took it over and was aggressive. And along with Ice, stepped up huge when Aaliyah went down, and was a huge reason for that run we went on.
Question up front.
Yes, hi ladies, Brad Lake, WNBA Swish. Your defense, held PC to 8 points in the last quarter, and you held them to, like, their shooters weren't shooting well. How did you limit their abilities?
Just communication on the defensive end, really honing in on that part. You know, I say the first half we didn't do a bad job, but we could have did better. So the second half we just really honed in on communication and knowing where the shooters are in specific areas to limit them shots would help us down the road in the game. So.
Up front, Pat.
Pat Eaton, Rob, the Associated Press. Paige, you outscored them 45-18 after Aaliyah went down. When she came back from the locker room, what did that mean to your team, and did she say anything to you afterwards?
Yeah, just to see that she was okay. She was standing up on both feet, and having her back out there is just huge for the presence of the team. But I mean, we all checked on her and make sure she was good. I think we'll know more later. But it was her nose that got hit. But yeah, just to have her out there, just to see that she's okay was huge.
Question right here in the middle.
Emily Adams, Hartford Current. KK, I mean, we saw you get a little bit fired up after a couple of those and ones and things. Just what was the atmosphere like of your first postseason game? Did it feel different from, you know, how the regular season has felt for you?
I'll say in terms of it felt really different just because it's my first Big East tournament coming in. You know, atmosphere, crowd, everybody in tune. But I really couldn't be more grateful for this team in the first game. So we have 2 more to go. But this is just a really good atmosphere to play in, and for my first time, like I said, it was very exciting.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Back right.
KK, you were really aggressive on the ball defensively. What's your mentality when you're taking that first assignment on the point?
Just basically not letting them set up the offense, really just disrupt them, and don't let them, like I said, run their offense because, that create them getting settled in. So getting that disruption helps us on the offensive end as well, pushing the ball, getting to our layups, transition, and everything. So.
Any other questions for the student athletes? All right, we'll excuse Paige and KK. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Plus, that one steal was huge.
Questions for Coach? Up front, Pat. Front left.
Gina, what did you say to them after Aaliyah went down, after everything you've been through this season? And what did you like about the response, again, 45-18 after that?
I know. It's just been numbing for us to the point where there really wasn't much that you could say other than, this is it. This is what we've got, and we talked a lot about some of these young guys have to grow up, and they have to grow up fast, and they did. You don't know until you're put in that situation what you can do. Sometimes you're put in a situation where you have no choice, which I kind of love that, because it brings out the best of you, the best in all of us when, somebody will come off the bench and pick me up, give me a breather. No, it's all on you. It's a lot, but gives you an opportunity to show what you got.
Question right here.
Hey, Coach T. Baker with the Next. Obviously, there's a lot of legends that you could have honored as a Big East legend, and you chose Laura. Just curious about why she was selected and what she meant for the program.
Well, we try to start at the beginning, This is the first time they've done this, which I think is a great, great thing. There certainly have been a lot of legends in this league over the years. And, there were, in my mind, there were two to choose from. And I thought Laura was probably, at the time, the most important recruit that we got when I first got here. And she took a program from nothing and helped us go to the Final Four, her senior year. And I just thought it was very appropriate, for a Connecticut kid to be honored as a legend.
First row on the left.
Hi, Coach Bradley, WNBA Swish. Yesterday, Doug Bruno talked about how after all this time, he still loved coaching. I was curious if you could speak to what you still love about coaching after almost 4 decades at the helm.
I like dinners after we win. I like days off after we're 3 games in a row. I like all the things that happen when you get to enjoy some of your success and enjoy time with your staff, and it's not about the wins anymore, you know, because the wins are the wins, and there's, you know, if you keep chasing wins, you're gonna, you know, chase them till you die, you know. So you're not chasing wins or chasing championships, but we got after our players pretty good at halftime because I thought we were trying to do two things. We were trying to beat Providence and beat ourselves. You know, it's hard to beat two teams in one night and one afternoon. So we got after our players pretty good at halftime, and they came out, and after that initial, what looked like it was going to be more of the same to start the second half, the way, like Paige said, the way we locked in. I like the fact that today players found out that they've got something in them maybe that they weren't quite sure they had, and we helped them get that. And to me, that's still the essence of coaching, right? Being able to get your players to find inside of them some things that are there, but they need, you know, they need some impetus to go find it. That never gets old, you know, never. It's harder every year, but it doesn't get old.
Question from Eric in the back right.
Gino, Eric Dobratz, Channel 8, New Haven. KK Arnold, just how dynamic she can be on both ends of the floor. What will that do for you guys in the postseason if she can consistently do this for you?
Yeah, I think that's to me, that's the big thing. You know, Nika didn't have one of her better performances today. You know, she struggled a little bit in this game, but KK's able to have that kind of impact on our team. There's an attitude, or there's something about her that's somewhat infectious. It's somewhat, you know, galvanizing, that when you get somebody like that that makes a big play at the defensive end, then comes down and makes a big play at the offensive end, and you could see the entire team get lifted. You know, you're always worried about your freshmen and how they're going to behave in their first time in this environment, and she really was tremendous today in every facet of the game.
Question on the right in the back here.
Coach Corey Jobin with the Craytonian. Ice had 3 fouls in 7 minutes in the first half, and then came out and responded really well in the second. How do you think about her response?
Yeah, she's one of the ones I'm talking about, that she probably most of this year treats herself like, well, you know, if I don't have it, Aaliyah will do it. And I'm just here to kind of give everybody a breather, and then if I'm good, I'm good. If I'm not any good, that's okay. We're going to win anyway. And when you think like that, you get careless and you get sloppy and you don't put enough pressure on yourself to get it right. And I think once Aaliyah got hurt, I think the light went off, and it's like she looked around and went, there is no other option. I'm the only option. And you know, I wish she would treat herself like that more often, and play with that kind of mindset. Well, certainly we're going to need her now, depending on what happens with Aaliyah, you know. But there's a learning curve to playing college basketball, and certainly to playing at UConn. And some kids get it right away, and others it takes a little bit of time. And I think she grew up a little bit today. Hopefully there's carryover tomorrow.
Roger, front row on the left.
Roger Cleveland from Waterbury Republican American. Gino, two things. First of all, what is the status of Aaliyah? And then secondly, can you just talk about Nika announcing today that she won't be back next year?
Yeah, she might have forgot that she's still here. And, you know, we still needed 3 more days out of her at least. But, you know, I think that was always Nika's plan. I don't think there was ever a doubt you know, how she wants her career to end and how she wants it to go, and she has aspirations for the future, and I think it's the right time for her to go on to the next thing. As far as Aaliyah is concerned, you know, our team doctors are here, and they'll do some tests afterwards. Judging by the looks of it, you know, her nose looks like it's been through a fight. So what that means for the rest of the tournament, I don't know. We'll probably know by sometime this evening for sure.
Second row in the middle.
Emily Adams, Hartford Current. Paige led you guys in just about every category today. I mean, you've talked a lot about the pressure that she is under. I guess just what allows her to rise to that time and time again, especially in a high-pressure situation already like this?
Some players, I remember Diana said something like this quite recently, actually, when someone asked her about her ability to perform in knockout games, in those pressure situations, and she made a great comment. She said, I don't feel any pressure, I don't feel anything, because I spent a lot of time preparing for these moments. So when they do come, for me, it's just natural. And I think Paige is kind of in that mold, you know. She spends a lot of time preparing for these moments. She's very much invested in the game. She's not somebody that just shows up, plays, and goes home. She's very, very invested, and she believes in herself. She has tremendous belief in herself, tremendous confidence in herself, and expects to do well in these situations. Just like some people expect to miss, she expects to conquer every situation. And for kids, you know, out there watching, yes, it's talent, and yes, it's preparation and putting the time in, but there's nothing that can replace the belief that you have in yourself, that you were, you know, you were born for this and you prepared for this moment. So we're fortunate that we have, because you're not going anywhere without somebody like that. You know, I remember somebody saying to me one time, you know, the only time you guys win is when you have guys like that. And, well, I tried winning without guys like that. It doesn't work. Sorry to bust anybody's bubble.
Any other questions for Coach?
All righty.
Coach, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Good to see you.